Hey, I'm Noelle.
And I'm Marissa, but Noelle does call me Pete.
I do.
And welcome back to Take It Home.
Boo! Ah! I was hoping that would actually scare you so it could get our...
It didn't, unfortunately.
I'll try again later in the episode.
Okay.
When you're least expecting it. Okay, well, we are continuing on with our Halloween theme. We got our little pumpkins over here. We've got some pumpkins over there.
We also have a pumpkin chai candle going.
We do.
Yeah.
And guess what else we have?
What?
Our sip of the day.
Oh, yes. Sip of the week.
I bet you guys will never guess what it is.
It's very original. No one's ever drank this before.
No, just us. Yeah.
Yeah. So we invented it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here to introduce this brand new invention to you guys.
Yes, so it is called a pumpkin spice latte. Yeah. So it's a latte but with a little pumpkin flavor.
Yeah, and spices.
Mm-hmm. So let's cheers.
Yes, it's really good, you guys. And then explain your straw for those who are watching.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'll explain my straw in a sec.
Did you stir yours?
No, I forgot. Wait.
She might need a little stir. Pumpkin and spicy.
Okay, that made it so much better. I was like, oh. So my straw, for those of you who cannot see, who are just listening, my straw is very, very, very long. And thick. And thick.
And she has a hat.
And it has a hat.
And if you're listening, you're probably confused.
Holy shit.
The straw has a hat.
Okay, so the story is someone was over here. Someone.
So mysterious.
Maybe this person's name will be revealed eventually, but not yet. Someone was over at our apartment and they broke Pete's favorite straw, which is literally just a clear glass straw. So he ordered us a new pack of straws, but of course he knows that I love being festive. So he got us these straws that have little tops to them, and they're all fall or Halloween themed. So I have a straw with a witch hat on it right now. There's a pumpkin one. There's other ones. However, the straws are really, really long.
They're gigantic.
So they're and honestly, they're perfect for some things. I've been drinking smoothies out of the NutriBullet.
It'd be a good boba straw.
A good boba straw too. Yeah,
bubble tea.
But I figured why not use fun hat straw today for Halloween? So yeah, for those of you listening that I don't know if you can picture it, but yeah,
use your imagination
or watch us.
Anyway, yeah, the pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah,
you should try one.
And we made them from scratch today. Just kidding.
I was no, we did.
We literally just used.
We considered it. Because I've made pumpkin spice coffee syrup. I made it last year. And it was very good, but
we didn't feel like it today.
No,
we just used pumpkin spice creamer on espresso.
And it's very subtle.
Mm-hmm.
I added a little maple in there too because it needs sweetness. The creamer wasn't sweet at all. But it does have the pumpkin spice flavor, but I need a hint of the sweet. So
we need a
maple, pumpkin spice.
A little hint.
Okay.
Anyways,
Should we start a thing that made us smile?
Smile of the week.
Yeah.
Smile of the week, smile of the week. 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 Wait.
Weird.
Wait, let's do this.
What is this? I'm very confused. You said, let's do this. And stared into my eyes.
No. I wanted
Is it psych or whatever?
Yes.
The Rhine?
I thought we were...
Oh.
Okay, anyways.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways.
Our thing that made us smile.
Yeah. Smile of the week. Okay. This is wacky. This is wacky.
We're just feeling a little wacky today.
Like, I'm confused. Anyway. My brain has, like, not been all here.
Same.
Smile of the week.
Okay. I'll go first. My smile was A Night of New Works, which was, I've mentioned it on the pod before, but it's my like cabaret series that I produce in the city. We had our third performance of it, at 54
Yay.
Below, and it just went really, really well. I felt after, like, it was a success. Like, I woke up the next day and I was like, wow, like, everyone, all of the songs were great. All the people were great. I think there were very nice people involved in this show too. Like, like everyone was just really getting along, even though we all had just met each other. And it just felt successful. And I met a lot of cool composers and artists. And yeah, it was just awesome. And I can't wait for the next one.
It was awesome. I think they keep getting better each time.
Yeah.
I mean, not that... I mean, they've all been great, but
Yeah,
it's just really coming together as, like, a concept. All the songs in the show were so wonderful, and all the performers were incredible. So you did a really good job choosing all the songs and
Thank
casting
you.
it and everything.
I do think I'm realizing I have a talent for that. Like, obviously, I don't want to stop performing, but, you know, I love my, like, producer baddie performers like Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Margot Robbie,
Reese Witherspoon, just like all of these people who are artists but are on the behind the scenes as well. So, you know, that's kind of what I want to do. I will say I need to learn more about the financial aspect of it. Maybe part of being a producer is losing money sometimes. I did unfortunately lose a little bit of money from this. I spent more than I made, and that just can't keep happening because I'm a starving artist in the city right now. But you live and you learn. If anyone has any tips, comment below on how to make money. Yeah. Well, you make money from the ticket sales. Do they give you half of the ticket sales, or do they give you all of it?
They don't give me all of it. They give me a percentage of it.
How much is the percentage?
Maybe like 50 or 60%.
Because it's crazy, because it was basically sold out. Like, I mean, I don't know if it was truly sold out, but when you were in the venue, it looked like every seat was filled. Like,
yeah.
So I'm like, how do you make more money from it? You know, when you're basically selling out the venue, it's like,
I don't know. I'm like, do I just need to? I don't know. Things to think about. But I can't keep losing money.
Yeah, or
doing
even
it.
just like breaking even would be a slay, so you don't have to pay money.
Yeah.
Or like you can at least make back exactly what you spend on the show.
Yes. So, I mean, this was my smile. It turned a little negative, but like it still was very successful because I mean, money doesn't equal success. Like it was an incredible show. Honestly, I'm really proud of it. But for next time, I would like it to be even more incredible, and I'd like to not go in the financial hole doing it. So, but overall, that was my smile. I'm still very proud of the show.
Yay!
What's your smile?
I'm excited to tell my smile. I told you this story already, but I'm going to tell it again.
I'll pretend like this is the first time.
Okay, so I have a little story. I listen to sleep stories sometimes to go to bed. I started doing it over the summer. I think it really helps. It's like it gives your brain some light engagement in order to fall asleep, not get, caught up in your thoughts, and your brain keeps you awake. So I've been listening to this one particular podcast, and it's just very calming little sleep stories, and it's the same woman every time. She writes them. I'm pretty sure they're based off of her like real life experiences, and then she reads them. And she probably only releases 1 or 2 episodes a week. So if I'm doing this every night, I'm obviously going back in the vault of her episodes and like listening to old episodes. So every night I'll kind of just like scroll back to old episodes and pick a random one. And this one night, this was just a couple nights ago, I picked one. It was titled Little Harmonies. It was about the universe synchronicities, the little everyday things that happen, where it just feels like a little wink from the universe. And she was just telling stories about when this had happened to her. And the first story, before I fell asleep, I listened to, she was talking about how she was in her kitchen and she pulled out this cookbook that she had for years and years, and she was flipping through trying to find something to make for dinner, and then she ended up like kind of looking at through the desserts section, and she found this dessert called miso caramel, and it really intrigued her, and she was like, interesting, like I wonder how that would taste, like I've never heard of something like that before, blah blah blah. But she shuts the book, doesn't end up making it or anything. And then the very next morning she goes to this coffee shop, she's waiting in line, and she sees the barista writing the specials on a chalkboard, and the second one in line is miso caramel latte. So she heard about it the first time the night before, and then of course the next day she goes to this coffee shop, she sees miso caramel latte, she's like, what are the odds? That's insane. So she orders it, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, that's such a cute little universe synchronicity. I was like, watch me see something with miso caramel soon. So literally the next morning at 8 a.m. I'm at work, and we do this monthly inventory count at my work, and then we all Uber Eats like a big breakfast. And I was doing the order on my phone. I sent everyone the group order. Mind you, I didn't even pick this restaurant. This was like someone else had chosen it. I find it, I send everyone the group order. I open the menu. First thing I see on their like specials, miso caramel brownie.
That's so weird.
I freaked out because I was like, I just know that I'm going to see something that says miso caramel somewhere soon. But I didn't expect it to be like, this was when I was in bed at like 10 p.m. and then 8 a.m. the next morning. I see it. How insane is that?
At first, when you told me this, I was wondering in my head, like, is miso caramel, like, a new flavor? Like, is this, like, the new thing? But then you mentioned the sleep story you listened to is from a long time ago.
The episode is old.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like, not only did I randomly choose that episode from a random time in the past, it was about synchronicities, and then I had a synchronicity happen the next morning related to the episode about synchronicities.
I love synchronicities.
Isn't that insane?
What do you think the universe is trying to tell you?
I don't know. I always feel like it's like a little wink. I don't know. I don't know what it's trying to tell me.
That it's paying attention.
Yeah. So that made me smile.
Miso caramel. Hello. Miso caramel. Do you guys say caramel or caramel? Comment below. Okay.
I always said caramel, so I don't know why I say caramel now.
Caramel.
I always said caramel growing up, but
I want a caramel. I say caramel, I think. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. Has to come naturally. So, should we get into our top ick?
Yes.
Okay, our topic today is being haunted by your past. Boo. To fit in with the Halloween theme, but we thought we'd make it funny. Well, I guess not all funny.
Well, when we were discussing this episode, we were like, this can kind of go one of two ways, and I think we're going to hit both things today. I mean, if you're a human being, you've been haunted by your past. It's just inevitable as we live on this earth and go through life, and then we grow. We look back at our past selves and we cringe. We have embarrassing stories, things that happened to us in the past that still affect us to this day. And then there's like the heavier stuff too, just like traumas and things that happened when you were young that have shaped who you are, and just things that come back to haunt you. So I think we'll touch on both today. I don't know. We'll see where this conversation goes. We thought of some like funny, embarrassing stories, things that make us cringe.
Yeah, that constantly haunt us. Okay, one funny little thing that has haunted both Pete and I. Well, I guess it's not a thing, it's a person. Named John. And I can say his name because so many people are named John. But John was actually someone we met on New Year's Eve a couple years ago. And
why don't I remember meeting him on New Year's Eve? Like,
because you were with Brian.
Oh my god!
because I was hanging out with John and you were hanging out with Brian. And we haven't. Wait, why am I like? Should you clip the selfie of the four of us together into the video part of this?
If I can find it.
I have it.
Here
we
it
have
is.
a selfie of me, Pete, Brian, and John. Brian and John are these two random guys.
Random
I don't
ass.
even think they were friends, but didn't we go to Kellogg's Diner with them?
Why am I losing my memory? Like,
I don't know.
wait,
We did.
was this the guys that we literally just wanted someone to pay for our Uber? So we hung out with them.
Yeah. Which is so funny because an Uber's like $8. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Well, we used to be a lot more poor.
we were. I mean, true. But yeah. So we met these guys on New Year's Eve. We honestly, yeah, I think we talked to them because we wanted a free. I low-key went through a habit when I would ask. This is actually so bad. I would ask guys if they wanted to come home with me.
Just so they'd Uber you home.
So they'd like get the Uber and we'd go home and
That
then,
is. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that's what we did with Brian
Yeah.
and John.
But then like neither of us, we did not hook up with them. Like I did that with a few guys. I'd be like, you can come back to my apartment. Not even like promising anything, but then they'd get back and I'd be like, okay, good night.
That's so stupid.
Oh my god, it's so
Ew,
stupid.
now, thinking of myself now with like a random man in my space.
God.
No, thank you.
No.
On New Year's Eve. Ew. Starting off the new year like that? No. Marissa, what were you doing?
No, literally, what were we doing? I'm so scared of my past self.
That is the worst energy to start off the new year
Ew.
with a random man in your space.
The men I've had in my bed are like scary. Anyways, not anymore.
Okay, so Brian became irrelevant, but then John
Just kept appearing. So John ended up asking me like on an actual date, and I was like, yeah, sure. And the day he wanted to do was the day that Pete had a show. Like you had a performance.
It was like my first show in New York City, so it was a big deal to me. Yeah, and like
And I brought John.
all of our friends were coming. It was my first show performing my original music. And Noelle was like, well, and I was like I really wanted to sell a lot of tickets. So Noelle was like, I'll bring John to the show. That's another ticket, whatever. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
So I brought John.
And mind you, it's like very intimate. It was like not a full band show. It was like an acoustic set in this little coffee shop. So it's like all of, I don't know, our friends. And then you just walked in with this random man. And none of our other friends knew you were bringing him. So they were
Everyone
like
was like-
looking at me being like, who is that?
Just John.
It's John.
So John, I just remember on this date we met up before at a bar, whatever, and then he was like, and then you texted me being like, can you please bring me a protein bar? I'm so hungry. And I was like, oh, she needs me to get her a protein bar. And he was like, she doesn't need a protein bar. Get her a shot of tequila. And I was like, actually, like, I think she wants a protein bar. And he kept talking about wanting to give you a shot of tequila. He was
So
like,
random.
no, like, get her a shot of tequila, not a protein
is
bar.
not what
and
I
I was
needed.
like, I think that she's asking for a protein bar, so I'm gonna get her one. And then he wanted to go to the liquor store so he could get a bottle of either like vodka or gin or something. So he got
Because he didn't want to pay for drinks at the venue.
yeah, so he didn't want to pay for drinks at the venue. So he got like a handle of liquor, put it in his backpack, and we went to the venue. And then he would just like order lemonade and then get out his handle of liquor and pour it in there and put it back. And I was just like, okay, like whatever, that's fine. Not a good at first impression though.
No,
Like
for a date.
yeah. And then I feel like something else weird happened. Like, what happened when he like?
There was something about, I don't know, something about your drink. Was he not sharing the gin he got with you?
He wasn't really sharing. Like, I think at one point I like ran out and I was like, oh, like I need to go. I need another drink. And he was like, well, you can go get one. Like he said something like that.
That's insane.
And I was like, okay, like I don't know. It was just weird vibes. Anyways, then like he ended up getting you a mini shot of tequila anyway. So he gave you a shot of tequila. I was like, I don't know why this guy is obsessed with giving you a shot of tequila. Anyways, later on, we go to a bar after your show. Is this when did he start flirting with you?
Yes.
So then he starts flirting with Pete. And I'm just like, okay. But before he starts flirting with you, I'm telling everyone, I'm like, I need him to leave. I am so not into him. All my friends are here. I fucking want to hang out with my friends. I am so tired of this random man. I don't want him to be here. But then he started flirting with you. What was he saying to you?
He was just like making conversation with me about music and stuff. That's what I remember. Something about music.
So
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was like you could tell he was flirting.
Of
and then
course.
this was confirmed later.
Yes, because then he liked you on Hinge.
Then he sent me a rose on Hinge, which if you don't know, a rose is like a super you get like a certain amount of roses per week or something. So you can send a rose if you want to show someone that you really like them. And then he sent me a rose and send me a message. I don't know what happened after.
Well, I don't think you liked him back, obviously. But at one point, he later, he texted me after that and was like, hey, are you free to hang out sometime this week? And I was like, not after you just sent my best friend a Hinge like. Like, what? And then he responded just being like, oh my God, I wonder if I actually still have these texts. Pause.
Yeah, he got annoyed with you.
I was like...
And acted like that was a normal thing to do.
Oh, because he thought I was really mad at him. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Wait, I have my text with him. Holy shit. He said, hey, what's your weekend like? I said, are you asking for me or Marissa? This was after he liked you on Hinge. He said, that was uncalled for. I said, it was completely valid. He said, how do you figure?
You didn't respond.
And then I didn't respond, and he said, are you still mad at me? And then I said, I'm not mad at you. And he said, you're not? And I said, I am not. And he said, oh, wow. So can we hang out again soon? I said, I'm not interested in hanging out again, but wish you the best. And he said, KK, same to you. Oh, my God. Not the next thing. I texted him. I said, I'm making a birthday video compilation for Marissa. What are the chances you send me a 5-second video of you saying, happy birthday,
Dude,
Marissa?
That would have been funny. And then he didn't respond.
And he didn't. That was low-key so savage of me.
That's so funny.
But yeah, okay. Also, him. No, I wasn't mad at him. I wasn't even interested in him. But I'm just But that's the point. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't even to begin with.
Right.
That date before he even started flirting with you. I was like, this is weird.
It was just the moral of it. It's like, we're going on a date, and then you flirt with my best friend. Then you like her on Hinge, and now you want to hang out with me again. What do you mean? Also, he was very argumentative about random things. I would talk about, my career or whatever, and he'd be like, well, to be an actor, you need to do this. I don't know, just... Oh my God.
Very annoying. Know-it-all, mansplainer. Anyways, he kept appearing fucking everywhere. I swear,
It became
John...
a thing.
It was, we'd be like, oh, we're gonna see John at this bar tonight. We'd go, he's there. We're in New York City. Why did we keep seeing him? And then one time I literally saw him in Union... Excuse me. One time I literally saw him in Union Square Park. And he was with a girl. He had a girlfriend for a while, but I don't think he seemed to like her very much because he was still, messaging us and liking our stories and shit.
Yeah, because he followed us both on Instagram, too.
Anyways, that's an example of someone who has haunted us. John has literally haunted us.
Yes.
I swear we ran into him so many times after all of this.
We ran into him that one time at Union Pool, too. He was, hanging out with us, and you were, talking to some other guy, and John was trying to flirt with me again, and he was trying to dance with me, and he was pulling my hand and squeezing it so hard to the point where he was hurting me, trying to, dance with me, and I was like, no, I don't really want... It was weird. So weird.
I don't know.
John.
So that's John.
So John's a character in our lives who just...
I wish he would have sent you a happy birthday video. That would have been so funny.
I never got that birthday compilation.
I know, because people didn't do it. I think it's because I asked the people who would not do it. Or maybe I
random
only asked
people?
John. I don't know.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
Wait, actually, knowing myself, maybe what I did was I told him it was a compilation, but I actually just wanted a birthday video from John so I could, put it on the TV and be like, okay, I have a birthday video for you. And it's just John being like...
Dude,
happy birthday.
That is so funny.
Anyways, that's one story.
That's a story.
Wait, tell your kettle corn story and how you're now haunted. By
so
kettle
we were
corn.
talking about just being haunted by things from our childhood, and I feel like everyone has that one food they have an aversion to because they ate too much of it and then threw up or got sick, and that I can't eat kettle corn to this day because when I was 8 years old or something, I ate this bag of microwave kettle corn, probably like the whole bag. I was like sitting on the couch watching a movie, eating this kettle corn, and I didn't get like sick from the kettle corn. It's not like I ate too much and threw up because I ate too much. I was actually sick. I think I had the flu, but like it hit me that night. So I ate the kettle corn, and then the thing that adds to this story, I should confirm with my dad, but I'm pretty sure it was like my mom, it was right after my sister was born. We're 8 years apart, so she's like a newborn baby and I'm 8. And it was, my mom went out that night for like the first time since, having my sister. So it was just my dad with both of us, and apparently like my sister was having a really hard time without my mom there, and she was like crying for my mom, and my dad was like, oh my god, struggling with her upstairs. I remember them being upstairs in her room, and she's like crying, and I just like walk upstairs and I stand at like the top of the steps, and it's all carpet, and I look at my dad and I just projectile vomit everywhere, all the kettle corn. Sorry, this is disgusting, trigger warning. But yeah, and then my dad's like, oh my god, so he has this crying baby, and then his 8-year-old daughter just vomited all over the carpet that he has to clean up, and now I'm sick. And to this day, I really don't like kettle corn because
you're haunted
because
by
of that
kettle
memory.
corn.
Yes, haunted by kettle corn.
I was unfortunately haunted by a food that was on my food tour that I lead for a while because, and now we actually don't go to this place anymore because it closed, so I can say the name, but there was this Egyptian street food place in Nolita, a neighborhood in New York, called Zuba, I think. And we used to go, and that would be like our secret food stop. And we would go and get this thing called a hawawashi, which is just like an Egyptian sandwich with ground beef in it and some cheese and like Egyptian spices and stuff. And it was really good when I first tried it. But then I got norovirus. By the way, if you've ever had norovirus, it is the fucking worst, most disgusting thing ever. You don't stop throwing up.
I'm like so scared of that.
It's awful.
I haven't thrown up from something that was not alcohol in my adult life. Since I was like a kid. Like I haven't thrown up from being sick.
Praying for you.
Since probably that kettle corn.
Don't like. I hope it doesn't
around
happen.
that time. Yeah. So like, I know it's like a different kind of.
Like, okay, yeah. Trigger warning. I'm about to say something gross. If you don't like throw up, don't listen. But like sick throw up is so, or like food, like being sick from food or just like sick in general throw up is so different from alcohol throw up or nerve throw. Like being sick, it's just like disgusting. But I did get norovirus, and the last thing I ate before I started throwing up from norovirus was the hawawashi from Zuba. And so literally, like, I had an aversion to it after that, and the whole restaurant smells like hawawashi, the sandwich we eat. And so I had to do food tours there for like another couple of months, and every time we'd walk in, I'd immediately feel like a little bit of nauseous. I never threw up, but I never ate it again after that, which was unfortunate because it was a food that I actually really loved. But even thinking about it now, I'm like, damn, that sucks that I have an aversion to it, but I can't. Oh my god, it's just like norovirus was so bad.
Ew, yeah.
So yeah, I was haunted by Zuba for a little bit, which sucked. But now we go to a different spot, and Zuba is closed. So yay, I don't have to smell that anymore.
So lucky.
Actually, we did.
For you.
I did get lucky with that. But yeah, wait. Also, should I share? Wait, you don't even know the story. I don't think the story of when my dad scared me.
No, you started talking about it last night, but
then I was like, I need to save it for the pod. Okay, I have a story about being haunted in a different way. So I've always been really scared of clowns. I'm like not really as much anymore, but growing up, I like in middle school and high school, I just freaking hated clowns. They're so creepy. I mean, they still creep me out, but now it's like, you'll know I have a weird thing for Halloween, so it's like they scare me, but I also kind of like it. But when I was in middle school, I loved being scared, and my dad, being a sweet, amazing dad, was like, I'm going to scare you this month, Noelle, because I know how much you love being scared. And I was like, okay, Dad, cool, whatever. Just imagine Perry. And then weeks go by, literally, like, I wasn't even thinking about it anymore. I was assuming he was just gonna, like, hide behind a door and scare me, like, the next day or something. But my dad had been planning this whole thing for weeks. And so then one day my mom is like cooking dinner and she's like, hey, Noelle, can you go into the basement to get something out of the freezer? Mind you, our basement is not a fun hangout basement. It's scary. It's like storage basement, creepy, unfinished. There was a freezer down there that we kept like ground beef and stuff in, you know? And so anyways, I go down into the creepy basement and I'm just like walking through it towards the fridge. I see something out of the corner of my eye. It was literally a double take moment. I turn and I look forward and then I realize I'm like, there's an evil clown next to me. And I turn and it just goes, ah! And starts chasing me. And I ran up the stairs and locked the basement door. My dad wore a whole outfit. Like he literally got an entire clown costume along with a scary mask to scare me. And it was one of the scariest moments of my entire life. I was not expecting it.
Did you
at
scream?
all. Yes. And then I ran upstairs and locked him in the basement. My heart was beating so fast.
Oh my God.
And then after it, he was like, he felt kind of bad, but he was like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm trying to be a good dad. I know you like being scared. And I was like, thanks, Dad. And it's so funny. All his friends still make fun of him for it too, because they're like, wow, Perry, great going. Like, you scared the shit out of your daughter. But like it is funny looking back. It was a funny prank, but yeah, that was crazy.
Did it register to you? Like, at what point did it register to you? Oh, that was probably my dad.
I think like as I was like halfway up the stairs, maybe. Like it all happened so fast. It was like I saw him, I kept going, and then I was like, holy shit. And then I turned and then oh my God, it was so scary. It was so scary. It was just terrifying. So unexpected. So yeah, that's the time that my dad scared me so bad. I think I was in 7th grade. Oh my God.
Dude. My dad used to scare me too. I remember him like hiding in my closet sometimes. Like,
oh my God.
When I was little.
Yeah.
Like, and then scaring me and I'd be like, ah! I also remember when I was like 3 years old, my parents are probably going to be like, oh my God, you're making us sound like bad parents. They're not bad parents. They're the best. But when I was like 3, and I know I was this young because it was before we moved into our like house that we're in now. And we moved when I was 4. So I was younger, and they showed me one of those scary videos on like, I don't know what it would have been on because YouTube like wasn't a thing, but like where it's just like something normal and then it like a scary face pops out at you and like scream, makes a loud noise. And I like started crying and then my parents felt so bad. They were like, why did we do that? But I mean, that's probably, oh my God. I still think about how I like tortured my sister because I would do stuff like that to her all the time. We had this like Santa statue, like a almost life-size like Santa, but it wasn't like a cartoon like Santa in a red suit. It was kind of like a
whimsical
like a Renaissance Santa like looking, like kind of like, yes, a whimsical Santa, which could be creepy to like a tiny like 4-year-old or something. Yeah. And I would like, it would be in our basement. We also had like a not done basement. It was like storage. We had like a little play area, but we kept a lot of stuff down there. And my sister was kind of scared of that Santa. And I like once put it like by the basement steps and like was like, Lily, look, the Santa. And she like started crying. Like, I'm like, that's so mean. Why did I do that?
Dude, but, like, that's so funny.
It's kind of funny when you have like a kid to scare them.
I tormented Nan, my younger sister. I tormented her. I will share this one story. Things. One time, me and Claire, one of the besties, this was so awful. We were at Claire's house and Nan was there too. I set up my digital camera in Claire's pantry to take a video. So I had my camera in there. It was rolling. And then I said, Nan, there are blueberry muffins in Claire's pantry. Because I knew she'd be like, oh, blueberry muffins. Because Nan loved blueberry muffins. So she went in there. Random. And then we shut the door and we held it so she couldn't get out. And
oh my God.
I just had this video of Nan screaming and being like,
it's like psychological torture. Like, I think I probably did that to Lily too. I probably locked her in the basement with Santa.
Dude, that's so scary.
Like, that's so mean.
Locked in the basement with Santa.
But that's such a big sister thing.
It is.
Right?
Yes,
Right?
it is.
I'm not crazy.
No, yes, I tormented my sister.
Some crazy lore of mine. That
This is crazy
You may
lore.
not know. I talked about the fact that I was in a girl group when I was like 14, 15-ish. And we were on the X Factor. So a little bit about my experience, because it does kind of haunt me. It's like good and bad. First of all, we made it through all the online rounds, and they were like, we need you to come to Denver, Colorado, to like audition on stage. So this is like the auditions that they show on TV. So the judges that year were Simon Cowell. I sang in front of Simon Cowell, you guys.
Crazy.
Demi Lovato, who was like my idol when I was young. Kelly Rowland and Paulina Rubio. So these are the auditions they show on TV, on television. Ours never got televised, but there were a few shots. You could see us, like, in whatever. Yeah, we made it through all the online rounds. We flew all the way to Denver, did this big trip. And then we go and audition on stage in front of the judges. And long story short, we got roasted by Simon Cowell because, you know, that was what he was famous for.
Of
being
course.
kind of an asshole. Mind you, I grew up watching American Idol and all that stuff, so I was like, whoa, this is crazy. But we were all wearing, like, he made fun of our outfits because we were all wearing, like, kind of coordinated, like, color palette. But, like, we were, like, young girls. The youngest girl was 12. We were wearing, like, red and black and blah, blah, blah. And we sang Girl on Fire by Alicia Keys, and we had choreography. It was kind of very cringy, so that haunts me. Thank God it did not get televised. Thank God.
Do you remember what... Wait, continue.
So basically, he roasts us, and the cliche happens, and someone in our group goes, and this was not planned, this was not scripted, this was totally, like, the youngest girl in our group goes, wait, can we sing one more thing for you? Like, please, can you just give us, like, another chance? And she was like, please, just, like, let us sing one more thing for you. And he was like, okay, go ahead. Because they were all going to give us no's, okay? And then we sing an a cappella version of Home by Philip Phillips. Hold on to me as we go.
I wish
And I
you had
will say-
videos.
I know. We did sound really good on that song. It was, like, very tight harmonies, and we did it a cappella. We would, like, pull the note out of thin air. And then we got all yeses, which was the crazy part. So we went from being roasted by Simon Cowell to getting yeses from every judge, and making it to the next round, which was in Los Angeles, like a few weeks later or something. And then we didn't get any further. We flew all the way to Los Angeles, and they did like a major cut, and we didn't even get to like perform again. It was just like we flew there just for them to cut us. It was really weird. So we never got
weird.
We never got any screen time. You can see us like in the background of some shots and stuff like that. But yeah, just getting roasted by Simon Cowell haunts me because I'm like, look
Do you
at me
remember
now,
what he
Simon.
said?
Look at me now. I'm very cool and talented.
Yeah, Simon Cowell. Simon says...
What did he say? He said that our outfits were like cheesy or corny or something. He like
roasting little girls.
No, I know.
Like, what the fuck?
I know.
So scary.
But yeah, that's just some funny lore of mine that I was on the X Factor and it was never televised. Thank the Lord, because it haunts me enough.
I wish it was for my sake,
Yeah,
so I
well.
could go back and watch it.
I'm glad it's not.
Wow, so you're haunted by Simon Cowell. Do you think about that? Like, anytime you see him on TV or anything, are you like, oh, Simon?
No. I mean, now that I'm like older and I know that I'm cool and talented and like
You don't need
that's
Simon's
so funny.
approval.
I don't need Simon's approval. It's so funny me sitting here being like knowing that I'm cool and talented, but like genuinely like I know that I'm a talented person and I'm not corny and cheesy. It's just like that's what's something from my past. That's why it haunts me. But yeah, I don't need his approval anymore.
Did you have like other adults when you were younger that you really wanted approval from for some reason?
Well, man, I could go into adults from my past who just kind of were weird to me.
Yes.
I have like weird things with my people who were supposed to be my mentors as a kid who like it seemed like they were jealous of me or something.
That's so
and like didn't want
weird.
me to succeed, but like in very backhanded small ways. So yeah, but I don't know. I can't think of like a specific person that I really wanted approval from. But I think when you're a kid and you look up to people, especially in like a theater space or
my
like
God,
a
yeah.
music space or performing, anything like that, of course you want approval. And I feel like that has trickled into my adult life a little bit.
Of
just
course.
like feeling like I need to perform in every aspect of my life or like be the best at something or be the best I can be at something at all times to prove something. It still creeps in. So yeah, I think that's just something that happens when you grow up in the theater world and people kind of value you for performing well or something.
You know what's weird? I remember so I went to the same school, shout out to Canterbury, all of elementary school and middle school, and I had the same PE teacher like that whole time pretty much, Miss Fisher, and she was just like your typical like PE teacher, like, come on guys, run faster, you can do 10 push-ups. Like she just kind of like intimidated me, and you know, a lot of the kids that I went to school with were super athletic, and I was not. I'm the singer, I'm the actor, whatever. Now it doesn't matter. But when you're young and, like, you're actually not getting chosen in PE and stuff.
Dude, I was the same kid.
It's so sad and scary.
No, yeah. I was the same kid in PE. I got out of taking gym class in high school because I had so much gym class trauma from, like, elementary and middle school.
It's bad.
Yeah, because they do, like, all these test things, like run the mile and the pull-up whatever thing, like timing. So, like, you're literally sitting in front of your peers getting measured for your strength, your flexibility, your speed when you're, like, a kid. And I was never an athletic kid either.
Yeah.
We played a lot of volleyball and, like, softball, and I hated it because I wasn't good at it, and it was embarrassing.
And then
like,
other kids like don't choose you to be on your team.
Yes.
But I remember the PE teacher, Miss Fisher, who's like, I'm sure she's a lovely lady now, whatever, but she scared the shit out of me when I was younger, and I wanted her approval. I don't know why, but I wanted it so bad just because I was like, God, like I suck at PE, and young me was just embarrassed and like I'm not athletic. But then, you know, like I knew, like I'm a really great actor and singer. Yes, I was young, but, you know, I knew. And then I finally got the lead in 8th grade. I played Gertrude McFuzz in Seussical the Musical, my first ever role. And I remember, like, I was like, in my head, I was like, I can't wait for Miss Fisher to see Seussical. And I can't wait for her to see that I'm actually really good at something and for her to compliment me. She never complimented me. I never got the compliment from Miss Fisher saying, like, wow, you were really great in Seussical. And I'm not, like, well, obviously I'm not upset with her anymore about it, but I was kind of like, damn, like, I really wish
But
Miss
she
Fisher,
saw the show?
She saw it, but I think it wasn't even like I ran into her right after. Like, it was, I just think she probably left the show, I didn't see her, and then, like, school happened the next day, and I don't know, but I just remember really wanting Miss Fisher's approval.
Yeah. You want to know, speaking of teachers, an insane story that I just remembered?
Yes.
A really fucked up thing.
Oh, God. Yes.
My kindergarten teacher had us draw pictures. Literally, it was, I think the theme was, like, city. We were supposed to, like, draw pictures of New York City.
Aw.
And I drew a picture of, like, buildings or whatever. Kindergarten, okay? Kindergarten. And, like, colored them in, and then we all had to, like, stand in a line. We were, like, standing in a line and turning in our papers, handing them to our teacher. And I specifically remember my friend who was in my kindergarten class, who still was, like, my childhood best friend, still my friend to this day. She's amazing. I love her. She hands in her paper. She's, like, in front of me, and she goes, wow, this is so beautiful. Good job. Then I hand her my paper, and she goes, really, Marissa? Yep.
Your kindergarten teacher?
This memory is imprinted in my brain, like photographic memory.
You were in kindergarten!
Yep. She said, really, Marissa? As if, like, my picture was bad or not neat or something. And, yeah, I remember that to this day. I was probably 5 years old. And I remember that.
Teachers need... Okay. And you and I have both worked with kids a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I was a camp counselor at sleepaway camp for a long time, too. And, like, taught theater camps and have both been nannies. Like, I think about this stuff a lot. I'm like, I really hope I've never said anything bad that imprints on. I like think about that because I think I experienced that a lot. Not a lot, nothing like terribly traumatic, but like, teachers just saying little things or not liking me for some reason when I'm like, I'm just not good at your class. Like, I'm struggling. And even in high school, when my anxiety was so bad, I think I was struggling a lot. And like some teachers, like, I actually remember Miss Mont. Shout out to you, Miss Mont, if you're listening. Honestly, she might be. I love her. But I was so bad in her class my senior year of high school, just like was not getting my homework done. But that was when I was like throwing up every day from anxiety, and I was the lead in the play. I was auditioning, applying to college. I was also going through a heartbreak, and I was just like, I am not okay. And I remember at the end of the semester, I went up to her and I said, Miss Mont, can I talk to you? And she was like, yeah. And granted, she had been like annoyed with me all semester because I was just being a bad student. And I just started hyperventilating, sobbing. And I was like, I'm really sorry that I was a bad student this semester and I didn't turn things in on time and stuff. I was like, I've been like, I've been having such bad anxiety, and like I just started sobbing. And I remember she was just like, Noelle, and she was like, like, I wish you would have told me this because I would have given you extended deadlines and I would have worked with you and stuff. And she was like, I'm sorry you've been going through that. I don't really know how I got into this. Like, that's not really being haunted by the past, but like,
well, it's just an example of like, teachers do have such an impact on these impressionable children, and those things can stick with them for so long. So like it's impactful looking back on the teachers who were really great mentors. And like, because I've had my fair share of wonderful teachers as well, but like I've had a lot of teachers who projected their own personal stuff onto me, I believe. And like those things really, especially like the younger the kid too, their kids are like sponges. They remember everything. And I have been a teacher as well now, and I'm a nanny, and I think about this actively every single day. Like, I never want to like say or do anything that's gonna like stick with the child negatively throughout their life, because they are literally sponges.
I guess that's why I brought up the thing about Miss Mont. She was never mean to me or anything that whole semester, but I could tell she was just like annoyed with me because I wasn't being a good student. But I guess the point is, like, you never know what kids are going through. Like, I saw this one TikTok of a teacher being like, anytime I have a kid fall asleep in class, I never get mad at them just because like maybe they're not getting sleep at home for a reason or something. Like, and I get it. Like, I just think you don't know what these kids are going through. Like, they're kids, and some of them have like, and luckily I had a good home life. I was just like struggling with other things, and like a lot of struggling with my eye growing up too. I will say one thing that has haunted me, this is more of a darker haunting, but I guess you can be haunted in a silly, embarrassing way, but also like in a traumatic way. Like, trauma literally haunts you like forever and affects the way you live your life. I will never forget, I had a doctor's appointment with my ocularist. And so for those of you who don't know, I have a prosthetic eye. I was born without an eye. And I had this one ocularist, aka the doctor who makes your eyes. She was the worst. But she haunted me by telling me once, she was like working on my eye and trying to make it look good. And she just looks at me and she goes, Noelle, you're getting to the age where you're going to want to look pretty for boys. And you just need to remember it's what's on the inside that counts. And you hear that and you think that sounds like it could be like a positive thing. Like, yes, it's what's on the inside that counts. But no, because one, girl, it was your job to make my eye look good, not to make it look mediocre and then tell me like, hey, but it's what's on the inside that matters. Two, like, that quote just stuck with me, and I didn't really unpack it until I was older, but I think it just like, I think that I just thought that I was like some freak like my whole life, or something, like, which is so crazy. But that comment haunted me for so long. Like, I was like, are boys not gonna think I'm pretty? Also, like, who gives a freak what boys think of you? But like,
when you're that age too, it's like, it's everything.
And I was in 6th grade when she said that. And she haunted me in so many other ways too, because she forced me to get a surgery that then like ruined my life for years, and my eye wouldn't stay in for a really long time. So she haunted me in so many ways. Literally, my eye patch era a couple years ago was being haunted by her, because that wouldn't have happened if the surgery I got and whatever. Anyways, long story short, a doctor has haunted me too in lots of ways, with her words and her actions. Like, that kind of stuff just sticks with you. You grow up and one of my therapists a couple years ago was like, I think a lot of your anxiety and insecurities stems from your eye, even things that you wouldn't think it would be, like needing validation from men or wanting to feel pretty and hot. It's like, I grew up thinking that, like, no one was gonna like me or something, because all of these doctors and people were like, you're different, Noelle, like, you're special. And yes, of course, like, that was a good way, and some of that was good. Like, yes, I am special, whatever, I see that now. But I think growing up, like, I just felt like I was different than all of the other kids. Like, I don't know, the way it was talked about or something. And so I just, like, my whole life just kind of thought that I was, like, different, and it haunted me in a lot of ways. I think I was seeking validation in other places. I was scared. I was insecure. I thought that I would never, like, be able to do film acting, just all of these ways that it haunted me. And I actually had to literally go to therapy for my eye and be like, go to the therapist and be like, hi, I've been in therapy before, but I've also had a prosthetic eye my whole life. I've never talked to a therapist about it, and maybe I should unpack it. And I realized I was being haunted way more than I ever even knew. And thank God I went to therapy and unpacked that, because I'm a whole different person now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so open about it. Like, if we filmed this podcast years ago, I would never be able to talk about this. Or, like, if I did, I'd start crying and sobbing.
I remember when you, just a couple years ago, made your Instagram post all about it. Because it was it right before, during, or after you had, like, your big surgery?
It was before the surgery.
So, yeah. And it was kind of the first time that you publicly spoke about it, right? Like, on social media?
Yeah, that was the first time ever.
Yeah.
It felt like it was time, because I was like, well, if I'm about to be wearing an eye patch for God knows how long, like, I might as well, like, there's nothing wrong with being different. And also, like, I'm privileged in so many ways. Like, a lot of people look at me and don't see anything wrong. And then some people do, like that man at the library the other day. This man at the library, I had my headphones on. He said, excuse me? I take out my headphones. He said, I noticed something's wrong with your eye. Thanks. Okay, anyways, moving on from that. But, like, yeah, it haunted me, but also you can, like, work through the things that haunt you and your traumas and stuff, and, you know, it makes you a stronger person.
Yeah, it's interesting, because I feel like putting too much emphasis on your difference at a young age had the opposite effect of what people wanted. Like, I'm sure people meant well, I guess,
being like, but you're special, Noelle, your eye makes you so special. And then, like, when I got into middle school, I was like, but that middle school is the time when you want to be just like everyone else. And
you don't want to be special.
But I don't want to be special because I have one eye. Like, I don't, like, and now that I'm a grown up and I've made it through, I'm like, wait, but I do like being special. Yeah. In some ways. Of course, it's still, like, it's not like that every day. I had a moment the other day where I was, like, so upset because this guy just, like, commented on my eye, and I was like, does everyone just, like, look at me and that's all they see? But I know that's not the case. People tried, and I don't blame anyone. Like, it was good. Like, you know, when I was growing up, I called it my special eye and stuff, and, like, I think that that's also very sweet. But I think doctors and people didn't always make me feel great. I was also, like, I don't know.
We are individuals when we're young. Like, when we're kids, we don't think about that kind of thing. We just are. We're just being. We just are who we are. We look at everyone and accept them for their differences and whatever. And then you go through this, you know, phase of, like, middle school, high school, where you kind of just want to be like everyone else. And people are saying things to you, teachers, doctors, giving you trauma and making you feel differently about yourself. And then I feel like adulthood is about undoing all of that in the middle and finding your way back to, like, that just, like, inner child of just, like, being free and accepting yourself.
Life is weird.
Yeah.
What, do you feel like you've been haunted in any, like, traumatic ways? Not to be like, tell me about your trauma, Pete. But, like, has anything, like, in a similar vein, like any insecurities or things that adults said to you when you were little that you still are like, I'm insecure of that thing? It's weird because now we like are adults,
I know.
but
And we're teachers and nannies, and it's like,
when you're
whoa.
little, you're like, wow, adults, grown-ups. It just seems like they're like so magical and know everything. And so when this person is supposed to know everything and be in charge of you and, you know, tells you something, you believe it and it sticks with you.
yeah. I feel like everyone my whole life would just like call me quiet or shy or like this and that. And that always annoyed me. Like, I was like ashamed of being like an introverted person. It also, I feel like might have been like in my younger years a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like when I was younger, everyone was telling me I was like shy and quiet. And then I just like was like, oh, I guess I'm a shy and quiet girl. Like I better stay like shy and quiet. And then of course I undid that a bit. Like I started doing theater, but I was never your typical theater kid. I was never like this crazy, you know, stereotype.
I was.
And I bet you were.
I was.
I wonder if we would have been friends when we were younger.
I don't know. I might have scared you.
But everyone just, would treat that like it was such like a thing. And then obviously probably starting in high school, I started to unravel that. And I'm not shy. I don't think I'm shy. I think I'm an introverted person. I think I'm like maybe a little soft-spoken, and I speak when I have something to say, and when I don't have something to say, I don't speak. I also like, if I'm quiet around you, I probably don't like your energy. I am a super open, talkative person, and I just need to be given the like space to be that. And if I feel like I'm not given that space, I'm not going to try to fight for it. You know what I mean?
Really don't do that, and that's good. You shouldn't have to fight for space.
Yeah. It's something that I've actually grown to love about myself. I used to hate that about myself, and now I kind of love it. I think it's a strength I have. But yeah, that's just something people would always tell me. And then I feel like I was always insecure about my like visual art, like drawing and all that shit. Like I never thought I was good at that. And I wonder if it's because of my fucking kindergarten teacher who literally scoffed at my drawing when I was 5 years old, which is crazy.
One of the most insane things I've ever heard.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
Also, it's not like you're like, even if you're in high school or something and you're in an art like that's different. Like then you should take critiques. But even a teacher being like, like really, then like,
Yeah.
bro, you were in kindergarten.
Yeah, what? It's so crazy.
Yes.
Like you're not supposed to be judging my art.
Really, Marissa?
Yeah, and like to say it like that.
Insane.
So yeah, I remember that to this day.
Yeah, how could you not? The fuck?
Trigger warning for this section of the episode, guys. We do talk a little bit about sexual harassment. So if that's something that you don't want to listen to today, just keep that in mind. We don't go into too much detail, but it is going to be a heavy topic of discussion for the rest of the episode. Also, I just wanted to put a quick disclaimer out there, and as I tell my experiences with some men in the industry, I just want to say that I have also worked with wonderful men who are great collaborators and who are not creepy at all, and I don't believe all men are this way. So I never want to seem like I'm generalizing or anything, or I just think all men are like this, but I just want to say that because I know a lot of amazing men as well. But yes, some men aren't so amazing, and that's what I will be talking about in the next part of the episode. Okay, love you guys. Bye. Back to talking about the girl group.
Oh God.
I mentioned lightly in a past episode how we were working with a male producer from Michigan in his 40s. I'm like, should I name drop him? He sexually harassed us for a long time. I was a lot younger, so I didn't fully know that it was like so wrong, but something felt off about it. And I didn't really like to engage when he would like bring up that kind of conversation. He always wanted to talk about sex with us.
When you were like How old were you?
So I think I was like 15 or 16. It was a little after like the X Factor era. So I was like 15 or 16. And I think the youngest girl was like 14 or 15 at the time. There was one girl who had just turned 18. And then like maybe another 16-year-old. So, you know, like teenager, but still a minor. And this man was like in his 40s. Like he would get the girls to talk about their sex lives and like...
Did any of the girls have sex lives?
I think so at the time.
Yeah.
We would go into the studio and we wouldn't even like be writing. We'd just be like talking about sex and he'd be like making weird comments. And for a long time, like no one ever said anything. I think maybe we just didn't realize how wrong it was. But I think eventually I told my parents about it. They were obviously disgusted, and so...
Weren't the other parents low-key not?
Well, this is where I'm going with this.
God.
So we had a manager at the time as well, who was like this older woman. My parents brought it up to the other parents, like, hey, this is what's been going on in the recording studio. So we called a meeting. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. Like, it did not make any sense to me how I was sitting there with my dad, and then all the other girls and their parents and our manager talking about all of the inappropriate things he said and done, and they didn't bat an eye, and they like looked at me like I was wrong for like bringing it up, or like I just remember some of the comments that were said. One of the girls who was my friend was like, well, he said that whatever happens in the studio is supposed to stay in the studio, so this shouldn't even be a conversation right now. And it's like, girl, he said that the first day because obviously what's going on is so wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't blame any of these girls, of course. Like, we were young, and I think that now, of course, they'd probably look back on it and are like, that was so wrong. But it was before, like, the Me Too movement, and maybe before, like, social media was as big as it is, and we had a lot more, like, knowledge about this kind of thing, and we were young. So I don't blame them, but I'm just telling you the things that stuck with me, and that this kind of stuff just, like, triggers me. So
Yeah.
one of the girls said that, and then...
You're obviously haunted by this.
And then the manager told me that I was just sheltered, a lot more sheltered than the other girls, and, like, this, and that. And me and my dad are just sitting there like, what? And mind you, these girls are, like, my best friends. I'm like, what is going on right now? One of the parents looks at me and goes, well, honey, if you want to be in the theater world, you better get used to this, because it's 10 times worse in the theater world, and this is just stuff you have to put up with. So it was like an hour of me sitting there just taking all of these comments when I'm trying to be like, hey, this 40-something-year-old man is sexually harassing all of these minors, and none of them cared. 7 adults that were sitting
And they
in that room.
believed you, too, right?
They believed me. They didn't think it was a problem.
That's even... Okay, well, one, obviously, always believe when people tell you that stuff. Like, secondly, the fact that they believed it and still didn't see it as a problem,
I think that
makes it worse.
That was the issue. It was like...
That's weird.
Well, because the other girls were confirming it, too. Like, yeah, this is what he said. I just don't think it's an issue. It didn't make me uncomfortable, blah, 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 blah. I even said, like, he smacked one girl in the ass, one of the girls who was a minor. Even if he had done it to the person who was not a minor, it would have been fucked up. But she was minor. And she goes, I worked hard for my ass. Like, I'm glad that it gets attention. Like, you guys, all of these comments are just... I will never forget them. And so I think... and I left that meeting. They basically kicked me out of the group. That was the last time I saw any of them, and I just got in the car and I sobbed. My heart was broken. I was like, what just happened? And I think my dad was like, you know what, I think we're better off, like, we need to move on. Obviously, like, looking back, like, why would I wanted to be a part of something where that was a situation where I'm a kid telling you that we're all being sexually harassed, and every adult in the room besides my dad looked at me like I was causing a problem.
That is so crazy.
Yeah. Insanely crazy. And I was being, like, attacked as a 16-year-old girl by all of these adults, and being told that, like, this... Basically, I think they were all, like, upset that I was, like, ruining this opportunity because we were working with this big producer. And it's like, are you serious right now? So they were like, you know what, Marissa, I just think that this is where our time with each other just needs to end. Like, you've been doing more theater. Mind you, I was getting more into musical theater at this time. Like, I was maybe a junior in high school and getting ready to go to, you know, start auditioning for college programs, and I was dedicating a lot of my time to that, and they were so pissed at me for that. There were a lot of, like, other blow-ups and things of... Mind you, I was, like, the most dedicated person to this girl group. Like, I put so much of my... You know how I am when it comes to...
Pete works hard for the things she cares about.
Yeah, and that's the energy I brought to that group. And because I was doing theater and whatever, it was like I wasn't as committed. So they were like, you know what? They just turned it around and were like... you're gonna be on Broadway one day. Like, I think that's your path, and I think this is where we need to cut ties and blah blah blah. And I was just like, what just happened in this room? And then I left and drove home with my dad and cried. And I actually haven't spoken to any of those girls to this day.
I wonder, like, do you ever stalk them on Instagram or anything? Like,
I see their stuff, like, and like I said, I don't blame any of them. We were all kids, and I totally wish them the best. And we did have a lot of great experiences together that I'll always be grateful for. It's really sad that it ended that way, though.
It's
just so horrible. And I think
it's awful.
I don't know, that was like really impactful in my life. And like, yeah, I think that is something that definitely haunts me.
Well, yeah, and then you and I had that experience with Mr. Man, who wanted us to be successful, who we're writing the musical with. That's like coming back to haunt you again.
To this day, I don't... this totally relates. To this day, I don't like going into music studios.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I fucking make music in my bedroom. And why I'm so opposed.
Wait, I didn't even know
not,
that.
So opposed.
That was why.
I think that I just have a lot of trauma in male-dominated spaces like that, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm getting emotional.
Wait, Pete.
Like, yeah, I just... Music and making music is something I'm so passionate about. And I feel like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm crying on the podcast for the first time.
Wait, Pete.
I just, like, feel like I hold myself back a little bit because I don't want to go into those spaces. Because I feel, like, inadequate. Because men are just... Yeah, I had that experience as a kid, and I think that affects it a lot.
Pete.
But I'm very grateful that I have the ability to, like, do it from my room. And I'm not saying I'm, like, never gonna step into a studio. But, like, I think about that a lot.
Well,
this is crazy. Whoa, not me crying.
Well, your feelings are valid. And,
I know.
Like, you know, you're not alone. I think a lot of women and, you know, just people feel that way. Like, it's hard. Like, and people are just so freaking gross. Like, I think, like, you don't realize until you're older some things that are, like, fucked up, or maybe you know it at the time, but then you grow up and you're like, wait, that was actually really messed up. Especially in, like, the arts world, and when you're trying to be a musician, you know, people use pretty girls just, like, for clout, or to have, like, sexual relations, and, like, it's their way to be like, I'll give you this big hit single if you want to have fun with me in my studio. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's like a tale as old as time, right?
Yeah.
But, like, also just, even if it's not, like, sexual harassment, like, I feel like I would get, like, anxious, even in the, like, stage, whatever, performing environment, just by the, like, little ways I'd be treated as a woman in, like, the music space. Like, so... Yeah. Wow. So you asked me if I had trauma. I guess I do.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't mean to make you cry, though.
Yeah, I cannot believe I cried. I feel like I'm, like, drunk crying or something, but I'm so sober. Like, that just really just, like, came out. But yeah, it's hard. I feel like it's really hard to, like, want to seize opportunities sometimes, and
Yeah.
I want to be the person who, like, I'm gonna turn this around one day, but
You are...
yeah, being in spaces like that, it makes me pretty anxious.
It's hard. Like, yeah, I hear you. And I'm sorry that you've had those experiences.
Thank you.
It freaking sucks.
It does.
Like, wow. This sewed really went through a journey.
It did.
We started off talking about John and silliness and ended up
with me crying and trauma dumping.
tears. and that's been Haunted by Your Past, y'all.
Yeah.
But
So-
what are we taking home?
We are taking home that it's very human to be haunted by your past, whether that means cringing at your embarrassing self when you were younger, or, you know, seeing how your life has been affected by trauma from your past. And I think to end on a more positive note, it's inevitable, but we can learn from that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, all of those things make us who we are. At the end of the day, we look back on that stuff and, like, can see it differently than we could in the moment because we've grown. And that's what's so beautiful about it, is because we're always growing and changing and evolving. And if we never did, then we would never look back and be haunted by our past,
true.
because we would just be the same always.
And I think sometimes we can be haunted by our mistakes, like, you know, doing something and then being like, oh, never doing that again, and learning from that. And then it sucks that sometimes we're haunted by other people through things that were out of our control, like, you know, being taken advantage of or whatever. But, you know, if you work through it, you know, therapy is a great resource. Unfortunately, it does cost money. And I wish it didn't. And there were better opportunities for getting help. It's important to acknowledge and work through those things. And yeah, I feel like that wasn't really helpful. It's just kind of like,
I mean, I think it's just something that it's like practicing acceptance of your past and just the way things are.
Yeah, you can't control the past, so it's like, what can you do for yourself to move forward, and how does your past make you want to treat other people, you know? Like, see, you cried and obviously have had a bad past experience with music, but you also mentioned in that you want to, you know, use that experience to create a safe space for women in the studio. Maybe one day you'll start your own studio. You
I
know,
thought about that actually. Like,
So-
way down the line.
yeah.
But
Not saying you have to do something.
no, yeah,
like
but
that,
it's like, and the fact that we have like teacher trauma and trauma from adults when we were growing up, and that we're supposed to be mentors, and now that we're in the mentor position, we're actively thinking about like how we want to treat these children and like what impressions we want to leave on them. And I think when you are handed something in life that is maybe not so great, you can always learn from it and do better for the people in the future, for the people that you know, can have an impact on. So that's what we're doing. And I think this was a nice combo.
It was. And we do have our, what do we call it? Our advice segment.
Our listener write-in.
We have our listener write-in.
Yay.
Yay. Let's see. Well, first of all, someone did write in, is Noelle single? I don't really know the answer to that question. Ask me again in a month. Okay, moving forward. Somebody asked us, dream guest on your podcast. And earlier, before we were filming, I was like, oh my God, Pete, I know who my dream guest is. But then I didn't say it because I was like, wait, you have to wait for the podcast.
Who is it?
Nathan Fielder.
Oh my God. Yeah. I didn't even think about him, but okay, we love Nathan Fielder in this household.
Love Nathan Fielder. Wait, Nathan? Wait, why am I like... Okay, but the reason why he's one of my dream guests is because I'm like, why do I feel like he would actually do it?
Yeah.
Like, 'cause
right.
he's so committed to the bit. Like,
This man, sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, he would be one to be like a celebrity who's like, yeah, I'll go on these random girls, like this podcast that doesn't have a lot of viewers yet.
Nathan Fielder, if you're listening.
My man.
We live, well, I don't want to say where we live. We live in Williamsburg, which is near the Alligator Lounge. If you know, you know. Y'all, if you haven't watched Nathan For You or The Rehearsal, and you have like stupid humor. Not even what kind of humor is it, dude?
It is stupid. I don't know. Like literally, the first episode of Nathan For You, he creates a frozen yogurt flavor that's poop flavored, and
the whole thing, like, it's like
stupid.
The concept is like he's acting, kind of as this character, and he's going into these businesses, and it's real people, so it's like a reality show in a way, but he's putting on an act. And he's going into these businesses trying to help their business, but he gives the worst ideas. And then he commits to the bit. So, for example, first episode is the frozen yogurt shop. They need more business. And he's like, you need to make a poo-flavored yogurt.
I forgot
he calls it poo. So that, like, it'll bring people in. Like, people will be intrigued by that. Do you not agree? So they literally make a poop-flavored yogurt.
Poo.
And, yeah, so... Every episode is something like that.
It's just, he just commits to the bit to an insane, like, point. So that's why I'm like, maybe he would, I'm like, should we, hey, Nathan Fielder, please be a guest on our podcast.
Yeah.
I'm actually manifesting this right now. Wait. It's going to happen at some point.
Yeah. He's so funny.
I'm obsessed with him.
Yeah, so he commits to the bit so much that he became a pilot for his bit. He became a full pilot. He can fly a plane now. So, yeah. And it was all a bit.
But, yeah, like, commit, like, when you're like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. He just really commits to the bit.
Yeah, he's also now become my dream guest. I didn't even, like, think of him, but yeah.
You know what's funny? I said he's super smart, but then he shows his grades on Nathan For You, and it's like A, C,
he's like, I got
B.
really good grades in business school, and it's like B+.
Oh, he's so funny. Yeah, that's my answer. That wasn't really, like, answering advice, but it was
a little question.
We're manifesting.
Us. Yeah. All right, you guys. I hope we scared you.
Boo.
Boo. I hope you're all having a wonderful October spooky season.
How are we doing with our bucket list?
Oh my god! Bucket list updates. Well, one, we have planned our upstate trip, which may or may not happen because the weather's not looking too good, but we may go this weekend. What else? Oh, I'm working on my bedroom. I thrifted a few things. We're cleaning up our shelves, or we're rearranging. I still need to get new bedding, but that has started. And my fitness journey. Something that is helping me with that is at the beginning of every week, I'm kind of planning out my workouts. I'm looking at my week, like on Sunday, and saying, okay, where do I have time to work out within my schedule? And then I'm like scheduling it in to my day at the beginning of the week. And that's been helping me too. So I think that's a success.
You know, mine's okay. Still don't know what I'm gonna be for Halloween. That was one of mine.
Me either.
Morning routine has been better, I will say. I've been sleeping in a little, but I'm not like rotting and doom scrolling like I normally do. Like, you know, I went to the gym this morning and yesterday morning, and but I still need to refine my audition book, which, like, I also have November to do that too, so
we still need to make an apple pie.
And yes, but I'm like, if we go upstate, if we go to an apple orchard, that's where I need to get the apples from, so that has to wait until we have the correct apples. But yeah.
Jackets. I haven't bought any more jackets. I did try to go thrifting, and I looked at the jackets, and I didn't see any that I liked.
But you tried. You put the effort in.
I put the effort in, and
that's what matters.
We still have a couple months to do it.
We do.
Thank you for listening. Follow us at Take It Home Pod, wherever, any platform, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe on the podcast platform on YouTube. Just do all the things you can to support us as we're trying to build our little community here. If you have an idea for an episode or a listener write-in that will stay anonymous, feel free to DM us. We would love to talk about what you want to hear. Give us a rating if you liked it.
Goodbye, my lovely, lovely listeners. Goodbye, my lovely, lovely listeners. I don't know what the melody is.
Goodbye, my lovely, lovely listeners. Goodbye, my lovely, lovely listeners. Goodbye, my lovely. Goodbye, my lovely, lovely listeners. Goodbye. My love.
Wait, what is
Girl.
it?
Goodbye, my lovely, lovely listeners. Goodbye, my lovely, lovely listeners. Listeners.
Listeners.
Okay, let's try again. Goodbye, my lovely, lovely listeners. Goodbye, my lovely, lovely listeners. Finally. Okay. Goodbye, my lovely listeners.
Goodbye, my lovely listeners.
Bye. See you next week. New episode every Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.